Hello and welcome to a Squadron 42 May monthly report, looking at what Cloud Imperium have been working on for Squadron, as well as a general AI update. I'm sort of going to bundle in here too. So let's start with AI. AI content completed the first pass of security, tourist and tour guide behaviours, polishing animations from recent mocap sessions and adjusting the related behaviours. They implemented the first version of the landing officer, one of the deck crew that will be used in hangars, landing zones and capital ships. The landing officer gives players clear instructions and directions on how to position their ship in relation to the pad for perfect descents. Work continued on hygiene behaviour, completing setups for the toilets and shower cubicles and their relative blockout animations. For sleep behaviours, new animations for beds were set up to support the physicalised sheets, and the process of standardising the proper usage of bed shutters began. They also progressed with the ongoing goal of propagating vendor behaviours to as many shops as possible. They're going to be designing and blocking out the different elements that will make up the various locations and enabling the available kiosks to use the hawker behaviour too. Patrol path tech was further developed, while the usable system code was reworked to refresh the usable architecture. Work also progressed on combat behaviours for untrained characters, such as civilians. This involved making sure they react appropriately to combat scenarios and try to have them preserve their lives as best they can, which is affected by what weapons, if any, they have available to them. The team also improved the reaction distance definition that was causing NPCs to react incorrectly to a player's presence when fighting in some situations. Spaceship behaviours related to subcomponent targeting were worked on. The data gathered can be used in flight tasks to perform specific manoeuvres, such as allowing a ship to ship strafe attack on a subcomponent on a specific sector of a target ship. Support began for spawn closets, including implementing handling for despawn requests. Currently, the entity will look at a usable in the spawn closet action area and then use it. If that fails, it will move to a random position in the area. One of the tech team's focuses has been navigational links for the nav mesh. This sort of allows Squadron 42 Vandal to jump on and off objects of varying heights, but also can scale to anything needed for environmental traversal by any character type. For EVA, they completed tasks to allow NPCs to systemically transition from 0G into a usable and vice versa. Animation! The animation team continued to develop animations for Vandal combat, the landing officer, 0G traversal, crouched hurt locomotion, male and female mess hall sets, the positioning of blending locomotion sets, medpen assets, and the firing range. Mocap was solved for perception reaction data for civilians and spec ops, and usables were worked out for enemies in combat zones. The facial team worked on animations for the effort set and security pilots too. Some character art, so they began R&D and modelling for the Screaming Galsons. A wide variety of characters are needed for this faction, so the team are looking into new modular systems to support mixing armour parts in interesting and performant ways. Trejo's hair and uniform progressed well, and teams there progressed to start development on the Assidio Comore characters. Audio. The audio team focused on Chapter 4A, creating music content to help drive the narrative. This includes identifying key areas for the new cinematic cues and defining and tuning music logic to support gameplay. Gameplay features. The feature team implemented the ability to have render-to-texture video calls between two NPC characters, which was required for several cinematic sequences, as previously only the player was able to receive them. They also completed the initial implementation of player formation flying, using a hologram to show the desired position, and use automated flying to assist if requested. Gameplay story. The gameplay story team implemented all the female player story, facial, and audio recorded so far, with nearly 140 lines set up, synchronized, incorporated, exported, and tested. Extra variations and polishing animations were created to further improve the player experience. They were also able to use new eating and drinking animations to improve gameplay story scenes in the mess hall. They used new motion capture to create a bespoke transition between scenes in the medbay, allowing character to move naturally and maintain the believability of that area. Narrative supported several other teams by scripting dialogue for various uses, including gameplay hints, environmental storytelling, and filling in long sort of stretches of travel with character exchanges. They continued support for audio and gameplay teams with place voiceover recordings for scenes throughout the campaign. In another production initiative, some of the team worked with the design and character teams to help organise and sanity check the master character list by providing context and descriptions for all the characters in-game. The UI artists spent part of the month upgrading the visual background of screens in one of the campaign's key areas, overhauling the design and colours to a level you would see in a sci-fi movie. The team worked on the UI visuals for scanning gameplay and expanding the visual tools used to make up interactive scenes. They also added the ability for developers to add tooltips to give players more info when they hover over an item on a certain screen. Throughout the last few weeks, the VFX team have supported many requirements of gas clouds and put plans in place to take a more active role in the creation of VDBs alongside art and design. They also worked on one of the larger ships in the game. Further improvements were made to the Bengal's thruster effect, including its absolutely huge main rear thruster that dwarfs smaller ships like the Gladius, said the VFX team. And I think we may be seeing little bits of the Bengal. The Bengal might turn up during Fleet Week if we are lucky. But what do you think? Are you happy with some of the progress being made with Squadron 42? We still don't have a form of release date yet. They are basically not telling us anything release date-wise. We should see a bit more on the roadmap because they're expanding it out by another quarter, so we'll see if there's any more specific Squadron 42 features turning up with that. I am looking forward to seeing the Vandal in-game more properly running around FPS style, but obviously we need a huge amount of AI updates to get creatures and aliens running around FPS in-game properly, and even humans at the moment aren't particularly great in the persistent universe, so yeah, there's certainly a good amount of work there to be done. But what do you think? Are you looking forward to Fleet Week? Are you looking forward to Squadron 42? Do you not care about Squadron 42 too much? Do you not care about the persistent universe too much? Hopefully you care about one of them in some way, otherwise these videos might be quite pointless to you. But I appreciate you watching them nonetheless. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Oh, what's this? I just found all your search history online. You filthy boy, buying spaceships and going on Ship Hub. Zin, show a picture of a sexy ship or something. You should have used NordVPN. It's a VPN, obviously, and it has my seal of approval because I shill for them. Use the links below to get a discount and help protect your data, identity, privacy, and to help with online accessibility. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for a Crusader Hercules Starlifter. It's a big boy cargo and ground vehicle transport ship that you can expect to be added to the game by the end of the month. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. Thank you so much to my channel members who have pressed the join button below my videos and my Patreons as well. Going the extra mile really, really helps the channel. Say thanks for helping the channel, Zin.
Thanks for helping the channel, Zin.
Consider becoming a channel member or Patreon as well, and maybe you'll get some poorly photoshopped naughty spaceship shots. Oh, saucy. Thanks for watching and all your support.